Hello, my name is Resilan Bearcat, and this is my first playthrough for the Rise of the Darkfog expansion for Dyson Sphere Program. This is the Albalda playthrough series. Hope you enjoy the gameplay. Okay, we are back, and today's episode is going to be about producing white science. So, taking a look right here, I've built something here while we were gone. In the last episode, we built a little facility up here that is producing critical photons. So we've got critical photons coming in here, and we've got graviton lenses coming in to feed these things. So we've got some of the inner ring is producing critical photons. You can see them, and they're going out, and then the outer ring is just producing power. That way we just got a lot of the power on here. And what we're going to do now is get into building the white science. So we've got plenty of generation on this planet. Everything looks good there. Let's see. All right. With that in place, we've got power generation there. We've got photon generation there. That thing's pulling 220 megawatts of power, 13 megawatts of power. So we've got power being produced all the way around here. We've got critical photons being produced. We have antimatter being produced. This is what this little facility right here is producing. It is taking the critical photons in and producing antimatter to ship out. So, and then any leftover, because it produces antimatter and hydrogen, of course. I mean, just what we need. We always need more hydrogen, right? So it produces the hydrogen and then sends that out onto the belt. Now the belt is what is causing this thing to not run at full capacity. I think the belt needs to be upgraded. Maybe it just can't get them all emptied here. Let's see if that's the thing. Yeah, I think that's all it is. It's just we need a faster belt. Technically that should have been working, but it probably just couldn't get them into the gaps, and so we got that. The generation capacity, I do see an issue there we're going to have to come back to. It's only 90% sufficiency. We're requesting more power from the sphere than we're getting. And there's no swarm. Our swarm is missing. That is probably because of the polar night on the other pole. We're not sending up any cells. So we're missing cells at the moment. We're filling in here. We've only got about 6,500 to 45,000 structure points, 44,000 structure points needed. We've got about 50,000 of the cell points of the 475,000. So we got a long way to go to finish building the sphere. And we have no Dyson swarm. So we'll deal with that in another episode. We do have to do that, and that's an issue. We're requesting more than we're getting out of our Dyson sphere, and that is the missing swarm is the problem. So we've got to get more cells into orbit. We may have to go do it on another planet, or we may, since we're using both of the poles, or we may just have to put a line of guns on the other pole so that one of the poles is always shooting. That'd probably be the thing to do. We'll get there. That will be that's something that we need to do here. I'm just going up here to check this. Let's see, this is in polar night. We're not producing any, we are pulling power. We are sending rockets out, but yeah, the angle on the guns is the oblique angle is too much. So we've exceeded the pitch limit on the guns, and we're basically, you can see the sphere down there. It's below the horizon. The guns can't shoot at it. So that right there, it's 7 degrees below what it can shoot at. So I don't know. The polar night here on this is showing that we've got 500 more seconds on this before it comes out. Now that shows 16 seconds there. Huh. Yeah, it looks like if I was to put another ring of guns to the south of this, since we're on the North Pole, we might be able to do this here and keep them all in one place and just have another ring of guns lower down that would also fire. I have to take a look at this. That's just we are going to have to create a solution for this. As we get over here to some of these guns can't even see the sun at the moment. We're too far to even see them. These are able to see them, but not able to shoot. So, all right. Well, that is definitely a problem. It is a problem for another day. Let's find Albalda and head back to Albalda to build our white science. Once we get the white science done, that will be our next episode. We'll be fixing our Dyson swarm and making sure that we have a steady supply, a constant, always firing set of guns, whether that's some on the South Pole or some additional guns there on the North Pole. I think some on the South Pole is the starting point, and then maybe even another ring on the North Pole. We want to get as many cells into orbit as we can. Basically, every cell we create, we want to get into orbit. All right, we are coming back in here to our science build. We land right on top of our yellow and purple science. So what we're going to do is white science. Now, white science is, I think some of these things are set up here. Let's see, here's green science, and I was going to produce white science right here was the plan. But I think I'm going to have to change that plan. Just thinking about this. I'm going to need the white science producing, but the problem is that white science, in order to produce, requires all of the other sciences plus antimatter. That's how you make white science. And then you have to put the white science along with all the other sciences back into a research lab in order to research it. So this right here is what we want is antimatter. And we're going to demand that. We have no demand for antimatter coming in. So where did I have my antimatter? Right here. Oh, I do have it. I just need to be local supply. There we go. Now that's going to look at all those little drones running over here and sticking antimatter onto this particular build. There we go. Now then, with that, I've got an antimatter coming in. Oh yeah, I got plenty of antimatter now. And then I can put that in there. There goes the antimatter around the belt. Now that will produce I've got research, so I can do this right here. Now that would require every one of the sciences and that's going to produce antimatter. Now where am I going to go with that? What am I going to do with it? It becomes the question here. It becomes an interesting question. There's my first universe matrix. So that power pole is in the way. Let's just go up here. One up. We'll run it over right there. So we're going to do out. Okay, there we go. And there goes white science. And there goes research. Now, I have now... It is producing research. I've got 10 of each kind of thing. I should see the 10 white matrices coming in there. Well, not yet. It's got to fill up the entire stack of these things. So, and the production rate is going to be relatively slow in what I'm doing here. But this is matrix research. Okay. So I'm bringing atoms in. Of course, I don't have anything in my research queue, but I'm kind of just looking at what happens here. Do I want to run on both sides? One thing I could consider is putting, as I scale this up, is I could put another stack of these things for research in between these towers that are these existing towers, and use all the existing towers to produce the research. So I got all kind of ways I can actually scale this up. Yep, it's filling up the white science now. Okay, very good. I just wanted to see that it was actually doing that. So we are producing white science. Not at a very good rate, but we are producing it. So that's the starting point here, is to be able to produce it. We've got the white science filling up all the way up the tower. We are going to be ready now to come in here and to do the next research. So we're going to focus on upgrades. not necessarily the finishing the game. So the first things to do is to finish out the research, figure out what we want to do as far as what research we want to do. Let's see. Let's look at ray transmission efficiency, maybe. That would be one thing. Logistics, carrier engines, utilization, veins utilization. Vein utilization takes a lot. I'm trying to look at now how many of these things it takes. Just to have further research. What's the more expensive ones of these things? Let's see. Energy circuit is 4,000. That's 2,000, 6,000, 2,000 for the energy shield. Communication. Oh, that's only 1,000. We're going to do the mecha core. So level 6 mecha core, and we have white science coming over here. It is burning away. All right, that's step one. We need to proliferate this though. If we're going to do this, we should proliferate the white science as well. Let's see if we put that in right there. Now we're going to need to come over here, and let's see what we can do as far as how we build this in. It's not going to line up exactly, but we'll tab this around and get this to where it's up on the same level. Let's see, I can put it in there. So let's cut this out here. There we go. Hit tab to get the correct orientation. I want it come in on the bottom and go out on the top on the 90 degree. All right, and then we will, all right, so that's going back around. And then we'll take this over here and connect that in. Oh, that's just an ugly belt, but hey, we'll let that go right now. It works. We're going to leave it at it works. All right, it is proliferating my white cubes. So we need to come right over here and basically repeat that process multiple times to get some of this other stuff in here. So we have research taking place. It's pretty cool. Let's see what we have here. All right. Yeah. Very good. My white science, my red science, all the kind of things in here. Let's see. I can't bring it out. I was trying to see if there's some way I could bring out the science a different way. I really can't. I'll find a better solution at some point in time for this. But right now, this is what we've got. We'll bring that in here. Let's see, white science. All right, we want to be producing white science here. And let's see, we also need a proliferation in here. So we'll put this in here. Like that. Alright, it is producing white science, and then we need to cut our line here so that we can put that in. Alright, and we will do this. Alright. Reconnect this so that it's still proliferating things. And take that out there. There we go. We have this going in here. And we've got all of this being proliferated now. And alright, we've got white science coming in here. Let's see. Okay, that's not working because the sorter was the wrong way. Let's fix that. Alright, we connect the sorter in. Now we've got the sorter. It's running things in on there. Alright, very good. Let's go ahead and cut the belt out. There's an extra line on the belt there. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Can't run it too close there. There we go. Looks all right. I wouldn't call this pretty. I really don't like this, but it will work. Right now we're going for functional just to get it working, and I will think about how to do this a different way and make it pretty. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but we will figure that out. That's kind of with different things. We'll bring the belts both directions here. We will go ahead and hook up the connectors, outbound on this side, inbound on this side. We'll do it correctly this time. There we go. We might as well go ahead and put the proliferators over here. So we'll put one proliferator there, we'll put one there. And then we can chop our line here. And we might as well just go ahead and cut the line there. And that way we can put our splitters in here. It's that splitter. We'll just copy that and bring it right over here and drop it in there and there. All right. Grab our belts and reconnect our belts. Get the bottom line reconnected so that the proliferation is going around for the main line. And then on the top line, just take the top line and run it over into here. Run our very ugly route over there. It is definitely a hub and spoke. It is functional. We're not going to say it's pretty. Alright, we'll come over here and do the same thing on this one. White science. So we've got 4 of our towers producing white science now. And we've got, what is this? 2 of our towers doing research. So that's we've reconfigured our science. But this is a start. This is not producing a lot of white science. We're not going to be powering through the research here in quick, and we will want to scale this up to where it's producing more science. That's one of the things we'll be working on. We want to scale up to where our Dyson Sphere is building faster. We want to scale up to where our research is going faster. Those things are going in. We want to be make sure we're producing enough. We are now producing more warpers than we're using. We don't need the white science. We'll clear that out of there. And then I've got all of these cubes in my inventory. Let's see. Can I stick them in these towers? No, because I'm requesting a full amount of these towers as well. Huh. Alright. So they're not going to go there. I mean, I might be able to sneak a few in there occasionally, but that's going to be a slow way to go about doing this. What am I going to do with these cubes that I've got in my inventory? Can I drop them in here? Let's see. Control. Oh, look there, I can. Alright, that got rid of them. Put them in the towers where they're going to get used. There we go. Got rid of those. That was from switching over from research to white science production is what put those in my inventory. There we go. I got rid of all of them. Very good. And then I've got some proliferation in here that I'm carrying around that I don't really need to be carrying around. That I can stick into the tower. Very good. My drones have refilled up all of my supplies that I used to build things with, so I've got a lot more. I got all these items coming in here. Okay. Very good. We also have some critical photons in my inventory I saw there, but they don't go anywhere around here. They were over on the other planet on Agda 4. So I think we have got this done. Our science is running. And we can come over here and kind of take a look at what other things that we want to do. A lot of these things now, auto reconstruction, energy circuits. I'm kind of just want to do them, use how much it takes to do them as an indicator of what we do. Drive engine is something I want, but it's going to take a bunch of them. We'll put drive engine in there though anyway. That's the, we need the energy shield. We might, oh, good gracious. Would you look at that? 462,000. Level 26. Okay, I'm not sure why it's showing me level 26. Is that the furthest I can go? Level 6, level 26. That must be, okay. That's kind of odd. The rest of, there's other things that can be infinity. So I'm not sure. It says +6 down at the bottom. I don't know. Okay. Ray emission transficiency, that's something I need. Now, I do need the logistics carrier engine. Ooh, the stacked things coming out of the stations, it takes a lot. So does the next level of the logistics carrier, but I want the next level of the logistics carrier, so we'll put that in. Veins utilization, research speed. Research speed takes a lot, but we'll put that in there. It gives us a whole bunch of research that needs to be done. Some of these things down here, let's see about our combat. Planetary shield. That doesn't take much. Let's put that in before we do the other one. Enhanced structure. We might as well go ahead and do that one as well. Now, space fleet and squadrons and expansion takes a lot. Combat drone durability is not that much, 2,000. And attack speed is only 1,600, but we're out of slots. Okay. All right, we have science queued up, so we'll just let that run in the background. We'll eventually work on increasing our science to higher levels, but right now that's probably not even 2 per second. But we don't have a whole lot of antimatter. We don't really have our Dyson Sphere really up and running. We're at a point now in the game where what we're trying to do is get our Dyson Sphere built to where we have excess power that's coming from that, and we can use that. Now here, all of these things are full of hydrogen. We just have so much hydrogen. We're still demanding hydrogen coming in here on this planet. We might want to eventually change that. I don't know. Yeah, I need to see this right here supplying things out. Alright. We need to, it's a big farm. We'll eventually need to take some of that out. Eventually want to come back through this planet and redo all of the mines and everything with the new miners, get rid of the other little towers, kind of clean up my mall. A redesign of the mall to where I've got everything in my global network so that I can request it from other planets and don't have to make trips back will be something. We need to make antimatter. We need to make the little stars here. That requires more antimatter because the annihilation constraint spheres. I need that. I need the quantum chemical plant. We can make quantum chemical plants. We've got all of the stuff that we need to make those. I think that may be one of the last buildings. And then we got some of the other guns that we may want to build, like the plasma turrets. The plasma turrets are actually very good for taking out space objects. So that would be good protection where people are coming in to attack us. So we've got some additional things we want to build on the mall. The plane smelter requires additional. That requires something else that I don't have at the moment. So we'll have to actually come back to kind of that. But the mini fusion power plant, that actually produces a lot more power. It's 15 megawatts of power base. But then it requires, I believe it burns off deuterium instead of hydrogen and things like that. So the fuels that can go into that plant will be different. But we'll certainly look into that too as we ramp up our production of deuterium fuel rods. We can use deuterium, those mini fusion plants, produce more power. Might be better when on mining planets. So we can get more energy out of them and don't have to pull as much resources in. But things to do for future episodes. The next thing we've got to do is go fix our Dyson Sphere, and that is what will be in our next episode and what we're kind of going in to focus on there. We do have more science. One thing I can do here before we quit, there is our first white research completed. We can actually create these stacks up here and make them taller. So at least on the research side, we can burn off more of the research. We'll stack them, basically stack it as high as I can go up there. Let's see how high I can go. There we go. Alright. That's a big stack. It might not actually get all the items up there. We'll have to see. And it doesn't appear to be feeding it any faster up there. It is consuming all the items. There's nothing backing up now. So we'll see what we can do about making this more efficient at some point in time, and also we'll make it more, we'll think about how we go about doing our, getting our Dyson swarm back up and running. So both of those things will be coming up in future episodes. That is all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think. Please subscribe to the channel to be notified when new content is available, and check out the link shown here for more gameplay. Take care.